pulse is weakening.
I think I found the source.
Oh, shit. I got an idea.
Season almost over.
What is it? Go, one. I'll prepare for it, even though I have no idea what you're doing.
Clear!
Oh!
Clear!
Oh, there we go. What's going on? I'm your host, Rax Hogan, and this is your weekly forecast. I ain't dead.
So, getting right into it, this week at Supreme, it is rumored that the box logo hoodies will be dropping. Now, I know that's important to a lot of y'all out there because some of y'all just want a new hoodie, but some of y'all know that that's a payday. The hoodie's gonna retail for about $150. You're gonna be able to sell it for around $650 at the minimum. I'm lowballing right now, but I've seen these hoodies go for as high as 1.2K depending on the size that you have. So, again, be on the lookout for that hoodie dropping from Supreme, New York. And new segment that I want to introduce to the weekly forecast is called Ask Rax. Now, this is how it works. I basically put a post up on my Instagram. You can shoot me DMs, ask me questions, ask me anything you want. I will read them here and give you answers right here on the show. I picked a few. A lot of y'all sent in questions. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. I'm gonna read a few of them right now. Danny Bricks, he asked, "Hey, Mr. Hogan," I'm not that old. "If you had to wear one pair of feet," that shoes for those of you that don't, dig the lingo. "One pair of feet for the rest of your life, what would it be?" Damn you, Danny. I got a pair of Air Force Retro 82s that I bought like 2-3 years ago, and they're comfortable as fuck. They wear amazingly. They're like indestructible damn near. I don't wear them in rain, I don't wear them in snow. People have stepped on them, I don't wear them to the club, and they still look nice. So if I had to probably wear one pair of feet, it would probably be those. Supreme_Hustle asks, favorite Supreme season you camp out for and what item? The bandana coat. It wasn't necessarily the item itself, but it was fun because a lot of people came down and it was cold as It was a lot of hot coffees and people making runs to go take pisses around the block. That was, back in them good old days when you could camp out and shit like that. That's one of my favorites to my recollection that I can recant. Of many, but that's one of the ones off the top of my head that I can think of that I actually had a lot of fun at. In closing, my tip of the day, well, tip of the week it should be, plan, plan, plan. If you know a sneaker is coming out a month in advance, then you gotta do your due diligence with your research and your homework and find out as much as you can about the sneaker and the release. If you fail to plan, then you have planned to fail. If the sneaker is out of town, then you gotta do a little bit more. You might have to book a plane ticket, a train ride, or a bus ride to the city that's dropping the sneaker. But make sure it's worth the trip. You don't wanna show up to a sneaker drop only to find out that it was a raffle that they held in store a week before you got there. That's my tip of the week. I've been your host, Rax Hogan. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been your weekly forecast. I'm out.